the biggest trends, so, obviously the one we always think about and talk about is what is the future of banking, right? Do we still going to see a big bank down the street? Are we going to see fintechs growing up and actually taking over? Or Trojan horse, who else is going to be out there? Or big tech players like the Pays of the world, right? The Apple, the Amazon, or the Alipay, the Tencent of the world. So that's always a big ongoing theme. I actually ran a poll this morning online and asked people, what is the future of banking? Do we think it's going to be a big tech? We think it's going to be a fintech, something to be determined, or is it going to be business as usual, a big bank? You want to take a wild guess?
I'm going to guess it was relatively even across the board.
Actually, that's what I thought. But no, most of the people say it's going to be big tech, followed very closely by a fintech. So let's see what happens. It's actually a good question, right? When we talk about digital transformation, it's not so much so the tech, it's not the ones and zeros, it's the people, like you say, right? It's the culture. Are you ready to change? How ready are you? How far are you willing to go? And not just the people, the mentality, but also as an organization, because it's moving a big tank, right? So this morning we heard from various different people, culture, people is the key. Lifelong learning is important, right? It's not so much so just understanding you need to change, it's also, do you have the skill sets equipped to it? How open are you to taking in some new ideas and taking in different people, right, from different walks of life? That's the diversity coming into play. It's going to be exciting one. So this year we've started a new podcast series. We talked about topics on longevity, which is, we're all getting older. There's no way around it. And it's not a bad thing. But from a society perspective, from financial services perspective, how do we prepare for an aging society? How do we provide more inclusive financing solutions, right, for people that are getting older? Not just that, they're adult children. So we're going to continue that theme, is to help banks and fintechs evolve their ideas on how do you service a wider group of demographics with different needs. And also the podcast talked about a different topic that, I think a lot of people are interested in, which is fintech in the Far East, what's going on out East, and what can we learn from it? Because typically when people think about China, Southeast Asia, we think about them copying what we do in the West. But as we've seen with emergence of payments and everything else, is more like, wait, we're still on cards and they're paying with QR codes and biometrics and everything else. So what can we evolve and how do we change to learn from them? That's another thing we're looking at. We're also writing a whole lot more. So we do have an opinion about pretty much everything. And so we're going to continue on that. And I'm wanting to see how we can be more involved with different organizations that think alike. How do we make banking better?